Hey guys, it's Heather. So today I'm actually going to be doing something new on my channel. I'm going to be doing my Sunday favorites slash not favorites. I'm not going to call it anything fancy. I'm just going to come on here every Sunday, and I figure that this way I'll get a video out every single week, and I'm going to do other videos as well throughout the week. This way, like, I kind of shop my... But that way I kind of shop my stash and kind of use different products throughout the week, and then I can tell you about what worked, what didn't work, and also at the end of the month when I do monthly favorites, I can just talk about something that was occurring and I kept using, and that way I'm not going to switch out like products for every category like every single week, but I'm going to make sure that I go through and try to include new things every week. One for everybody, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I do have one product that did not work for me, and I'm going to do that last, but I'm going to tell you guys about what worked for me this week, what I've really loved this week, and just what's been my all-time favorite. I had this idea last week to basically shop my stash this week, and I've really found some good products that I haven't reached for, and I found new ways to use things, so I definitely wanted to share it with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing is a foundation. I've had this foundation in my collection for a very long time, and I really never used it. I did get it in a lighter shade and it was really too light, so I went back and I got it in a little darker shade, which is perfect for me, and it's what's on my face right now. And I've literally every day that I've worn makeup this week, which has been several times, because there for a while I wasn't wearing a whole lot, and so I found this way, gathering products and using stuff, it just helped me kind of get excited about makeup again and about my stuff. So this foundation is so good, and it is the Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation, and it has an SPF of 10, and I'm in the shade 1.2, which I'm not really sure exactly if that's ivory or I don't really know, but it's in shade 1.2, and like I said, I did get 1.1 and it was really pale and it just did not work. I figured I could get it to work, but this one is perfect. Now this foundation is really hydrating, but it also has really good coverage, and it also does last. It does live up to the claims that it does say about 15 hours. I've worn this foundation for a while, and it does say that it can withhold sweat and rain and all that stuff, and I really think that that's true, because I wore this foundation yesterday for literally 13 or 14 hours, and when I took it off at midnight last night, my face still looked like it did when I first applied it. So I do find that it is very long wearing, and I love it. And I was outside all day and I kind of was in the sun and sweated, and it stayed on, which was really great for me. So I really love this foundation. I love the coverage, and I love how it does have a skin-like look to it. It's not too matte, because while sometimes I do like matte foundations, I do like to look radiant, and I just found that this one is really good for that. So if you're looking for coverage, if you want to have a nice hydrated face, looks like skin, like I said, with coverage, long wearing, definitely recommend Smashbox Studio Skin. I've worn this literally 4 or 5 days this week, and I can't put it down. I love this foundation. It is kind of I wouldn't say it's thick, but you can definitely use too much, so you do want to be careful with that. Less is more with this foundation. I have found it can get cakey if you put too much on, so you want to use a light hand with it. A little goes a long way, but definitely a favorite this week. Loved it. Okay, so the next thing is a powder. Now this I did a video on last year. I don't know. Well, it may have been earlier this year. I'm not really sure, but I have a video on it, and it is the IT Cosmetics Celebration Foundation Illumination, and I'm in the shade Fair. Now, it looks like this, which is kind of dark for a fair shade. But the thing about this is the light shade is too dark for my face, but this is kind of too light. So what I've been doing is I've been setting my under eye concealer with it, and it's not frosty, but it does give a good glow, and it sets my concealer beautifully. Under my eyes, it just looks so glowy and so airbrushed and so beautiful. So definitely this is my favorite setting powder this week under my eyes. I just grab a fluffy brush and sweep sweep it on and set my under eye concealer, and it's beautiful. So definitely try that out. Like I said, I do like it all over my face, but this shade's a little bit too light and the light shade is a little bit too dark. So I just love it for underneath my eyes. So definitely a wonderful favorite this week. Okay, so what I've been using underneath my eyes for concealer has been my NYX HD Photogenic Concealer, and I'm in the shade 01 Porcelain. So it looks like this. I'm sure you've seen it all over YouTube. I love this concealer. It is so great at underneath your eyes. I love it because it's nice and it covers, and it's not, it doesn't crease on me, but it does give you that airbrush look, but it's not too heavy or cakey. It's wonderful. And like I said, I have had this in my collection for a good while and I just never reached for it. And so this week I've worn it every day that I've worn makeup, and I've just fallen in love with it. So that's why I wanted to do these videos, because I'm finding stuff I've had in my collection and I just don't use. So definitely wonderful, wonderful under eye concealer. If I had a darker shade, I would use it for spot concealing, but I don't have one. So I just use that shade because it's too light for my face underneath the eyes. Beautiful. Okay, so for a blush, I have had this one. I have another one of the Kat Von D blushes. This one is in this shade Essex. It's what's on my cheeks right now, and it is a beautiful kind of, it is a beautiful kind of like darker rosy pink color. It's what's on my cheeks today. It's absolutely stunning, and these are super, super pigmented. I just love it. It's just a really pretty kind of rosy pink, and I love it. It's very neutral. It's not too peach, it's not too pink. It's just a perfect neutral shade. It goes with a lot of different looks. It's perfect for the fall time coming up, and I just really like it. So definitely a favorite this week. Okay, bronzer. Again, I've had this bronzer in my collection for so long, excuse the noise, and I just haven't used it, and I've been using it this week and I love it. It's so perfect, and it's the Makeup Forever Matte Bronze in number 20. And I know this has been all over YouTube, and it doesn't look like much in the pan. It looks really light, and even if you swatch it on your hand, it's like, and I'm fair, and it's like, that is not going to cover my cheeks, but it does, and it's what's on my cheeks today. I love to bronze up my face with this. It's not too orange, it's not too brown, it's a perfect medium, and I think it's an absolute wonderful, wonderful bronzer, and I like to contour with it. It's just beautiful. So like I said, it doesn't swatch like much, so definitely get in there with a brush and really try to bronze up your skin. I absolutely love it, and it's just beautiful, beautiful. So love that this week, and I'm glad I picked it back up again because I haven't really used it. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I have this little MAC palette that I got at a CCO a long time ago, and it's called Warm Eyeshadows, and it has a bunch of different eyeshadows in it, but the one eyeshadow that I've been using every day this week, and I never can get it open, and I don't even know how old this is, but it's Shroom right here. I have been loving Shroom for underneath my eyebrows. I just, fill in my brows and I highlight with Shroom, and it's beautiful. It's not too frosty. It just gives a really pretty shine, and it just really highlights your arch, and it's just beautiful. And it's real pigmented, and like I said, it's not too frosty, but it's perfect. I love it. Definitely try out Shroom. But like I said, I just have it in this little palette, but they do have it individually. I just have it in that palette. So okay, moving on to eyeshadows. So I have dug out what's on my eyes today, my Urban Decay Naked 2. If you've watched my channel for a while, I've had this for a good while. I never use it. It almost looks brand new. I prefer the first one. But here lately, like I've been seeing on Instagram and Pinterest and YouTube, and I've really been liking like the cooler tone kind of gray taupey eyeshadows. And usually I love the Warm, and I still do, but it's just kind of been catching my eye a little bit. And the Naked 2 is a little bit more cool. And so I've just been gravitating towards this, and it's beautiful. It's what's on my eyes today, and I'm digging it. Before I was like, ew, I don't like cool tone eyeshadows, but I actually really do like it. So this has been a favorite this week as well, which is kind of funny because I never really liked it, and I even thought about giving it away, and but now I'm like, wow, I've been missing out. I really do enjoy it. And then the next palette that I've used several times this week, spit it out, is the Tarte Rainforest After Dark palette. I really like it. Now, I will say the blush is phenomenal. It's beautiful, it's light, but it just gives your cheeks a beautiful, beautiful glow to them. The highlighter is really good, and then Park Avenue Princess bronzer is really good. The eyeshadows, I do really like them. I love this gold shade. It's super pigmented, and I love using it on a wet brush. I will say that the eyeshadows are good. They're not like mind-blowing, and I will say I do like using them, and like I said, I've used them several times. This was what was on my eyes as well in the last video I posted, which was my favorite brushes, and I was wearing this. A lot of you complimented on my eyeshadow, and I will do a tutorial with this, but I like it, but I find that the colors are almost, besides the gold, are almost like too much alike, so it kind of can look like a little bit muddy. Like I wish like this darker shade right here was a little bit darker so it could really pack a big punch, but other than that, you can really create some pretty looks with this, and I do like this palette. So definitely a favorite this week, but I love the blush. It's like, it makes this palette perfection. Okay, so just a few more things. As far as lip colors go, what's on my lips right now is the Gerard Cosmetics Color Your Smile Lip Gloss in Buttercream. I absolutely love this. Like I said, it's what's on my lips. It's a perfect neutral pink. It just is so beautiful. So definitely one of my favorite ones. I believe I have 5 or 6, but this is definitely my favorite one. Definitely try it out. If you are like a neutral pink type of person, it's beautiful, and it has some really nice pigmentation to it for being a lip gloss, and I've just been throwing it on like literally every day. Love that. And if I'm not wearing that, or I'll even top this next product with that, is my beautiful baby. And my Aunt Lydia, if you're watching, hi, she sent this to me for my birthday, and I was so grateful and so excited. And it's the YSL Rouge Pour Couture in number 10, which is Beige Tribune, I believe. Oh, it's such a beautiful neutral pink. It's beautiful. It goes on pretty slippery, and I know a lot of people complain about the smell because it's kind of fragrant. Whoa. It's kind of fragranced pretty heavily, but I don't mind it, and I do like the moisturizing. I don't feel like it's too slippery at all. I just love it, and it's very pigmented. It's so beautiful. So I know it's like $35, but it's perfection, and I love it. And like I said, I've been wearing this or together. Beautiful. Okay, a mascara for me this week I've just been reaching for is my Lancome Hypnose Drama. Oh, I love Lancome mascaras. I like how they're really silky. Sometimes they're a little bit like too wet like at first, so I kind of like to let them dry out a little bit, but it gives me really good length, really good volume, and I just really like it. And it never crusts or gets dry. You can just keep building on coats and coats and coats, and it never looks spidery, and it's just beautiful. So that's been my go-to mascara this week. And then also for eyeshadow, I should have done this with my eyeshadows, but it's been this Milani Bella eyeshadow in Bella Taupe. It's again what's on my eyes. It's just a cool tone taupey color. It's really, really pigmented. I mean, I was actually pretty surprised, and I just love it. I think it's beautiful, and it goes great with the Naked 2 palette, so I've been loving that this week as well. So if I'm not wearing my Tarte eyeshadows, then it's been the Naked 2. So okay, and then I just have like literally 3 more things, so we are good. Okay, the next thing is this Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. This is just a sample that came in one of my Lorac palettes, and one of my really good friends, she's always talking about how much she loves this, and I've have some of these in my collection, and I never reach for them. So this week I've reached for this. This is a beautiful, wonderful, absolutely amazing eye primer. If you are somebody who suffers with oily eyelids like me, this will change your life. Most primers I have found do not do squat for my staying power of my eyeshadows because my eyelids are extremely oily. I really love this. I'm telling you guys, it's beautiful. And it just, you put it on and it goes on really silky, but then it really gets tacky. And at first I was like, whoa, this is like glue, but it really kept my eyeshadow. I mean, it keeps my eyeshadows literally on for hours because like in this eye, it kind of sinks down a little bit, and I have like a double little like fold right there, and so a lot of times like my eyeshadow will crease after a while just from linking and just having that extra little fold, which drives me crazy. And I found like packing this on there and just really packing my eyeshadow on, it didn't do that, and I really love it. And I didn't use this today because I was in a rush to get out the door and I found that it creased in there. So I really find that this Lorac behind the scenes eye primer is super amazing. And when I run out of this, I'm definitely going to purchase the full size because I never can find an eye primer that does squat for my eyes. That's why I just was like, I'm not even going to use eye primers because they don't work. But this was actually perfection. So love that. Okay, and the last favorite this week, I know I have a lot, but this is just stuff that I've really been using and I love. This is my baby. I will never be without this. Now, I did have the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray, and while that's hydrating and all that great stuff, this one is beautiful. And it's just a small one. It's the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. This bad boy, I used it while I was in Texas all those months. I only have a little bit left, but I'm definitely purchasing the full size. It's supposed to be, you know, have your makeup last a long time. It does. If I do not spray this, my makeup will not last in the heat, if I'm sweating, whatever. But when I spray this, my makeup looks so flawless and I absolutely love it. Like, I've been wearing my makeup right now literally since like 8 o'clock this morning, and it's like after 5 o'clock. And it still looks like perfect. And it's because of this. I'm telling you, I mean, I love this. And you know, this being a 15-hour wear foundation and this helping it last, it just makes for a really long lasting foundation. And I know, you know, if you have long hours at work or at school, or wherever you're going and you need your foundation to last, definitely try that. And I'm not oily skin at all. I mean, I don't have oily skin, but I don't really have dry skin. I have kind of in the middle. And sometimes my T-zone may get oily, but my problem is like if I'm out in the heat and the sweat, it just breaks it all up. But that really doesn't. It's really wonderful. So definitely, if you can invest in this, definitely pick it up. And I can't remember what this small one cost, but they were out of the big one, so this is all that they had at the Sephora that I went to, but it's almost out. But it's lasted me. I got it in June, and it's now September, and I use it all the time, so really good product. Okay, so that's my favorites for this week. Now, I do have one big fail, and I'm so irritated about this. So as you know, or you may not know, but I used to like not have any eyebrows, and I went through this whole year of growing them in and getting them perfect, you know, and going to this girl that I love, but she's like an hour away, who really helped me like get them shaped and waxed them for me. But my eyebrow hairs grow in like weeds, okay? I can go get them waxed and literally a week later they're fuzzy again. And it just gets too expensive to drive an hour away to her, and then, you know, it's like $10 each time or $12 each time that I go. So I was like, well, I'll just start trying to wax at home because I hate tweezing because it takes forever. Well, I was like, oh, let me go to Walmart because I don't have a Sally's close, and I got this Ouch Relief wax kit for face and body. Horrible. What it is, it comes with a pre-treatment that's supposed to help like numb or, you know, help it not get red, and it says the results last up to 8 weeks. It's a, what is it? I can't remember. Oh, cocoa, sugar, and honey wax. And it's supposed to just like wash off really easy with soap and water, where you know how like regular wax, it just doesn't come off. But at the drugstore, all I can find is like the peel off waxes, which I'm not doing that. Like, I want the old school strips, and that's just me. So you get strips in here, which are fine, and you get those pre-treatment wipes, and then you get this jar of wax. It did nothing. Like, I heated it up in the microwave. You're supposed to heat it up. It has the directions inside. Heated it up, put it on, went to rip it off, and nothing came off. And in the little book it says, well, try less. I tried less. Still didn't work. So this is a big fail. And this was like $10. So I'm pretty ticked off about it. So if you see this in your drugstore, run. If you can get it to work, tell me how. What am I doing wrong? I tried it like for 2 or 3 different days and I couldn't get it to work. So don't like it. Okay guys, so that is my weekly or Sunday hits and misses, I guess we can call it. Or if you have any ideas of what we should call it, I'll leave it down below. I would appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm going to start doing this every single week, and I'm going to make sure that I make a point to do this. So these are the products that I've really been loving and not loving this week. And next week I will shop my stash and get some more products intertwined, and I'll let you guys know what's my favorite. And at the end of the month, then I will let you guys know, what kind of stuck around and what really stuck out to me. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any requests, definitely let me know, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.